rundown to Wednesday, April 5th. Happy birthday to my guy, John Moy. It is brought to you by the Barstool Store. Connecticut won its 5th national championship on Monday night. Celebrate the top dogs by shopping all new championship collection at the Barstool Store, which features limited edition t-shirts, crew necks, hoodies, and flags that celebrates college basketball's kings. Go to store.barstoolsports.com to get all the latest championship gear before it sells out. Shout out to the Huskies, and that's why we are talking with our Husky boys from Chicago, according to Pat Bev, Chief and White Sox Dave, who's noticeably trimmer and crushing the Peloton recently. How you boys doing?
Well, I was doing better before that intro. Thanks. Yeah. Also, I've just decided I'm going to start referring to Pat Bev as a little guy. He's the smallest NBA player I've ever met in person. He's about my height, so he's just a little guy, and I'm just.
You got him by like 50 pounds. He's like a little.
I would handle him in the post. I would box out Pat Bev, no problem. So we'll wait till we'll wait till the new basketball court gets here. I will also do the Peloton a little bit more consistently, so I can do more than 1 or 2 trips up and down the floor. But yeah, Pat Bev, he's just a small little guy. He's got Napoleon syndrome, so he's lashing out because he's little.
White Sox Dave, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you, Steven?
I like your I don't actually like it, but I'm just commenting on your neon yellow coffee mug, which is certainly filled with Stella Blue coffee.
It is.
Actually, it
is. This isn't mine. It's just a coffee glass that I grabbed from our dishwasher this morning. But it does the trick. It holds the liquid. No, this is coffee.
Okay, all right.
You guys have communal coffee mugs?
Yeah, a handful.
If you're in an office with Dave, everything is communal.
See, here we go with the slander right off the bat. There's like 8 of these coffee mugs that get ran through the dishwasher.
I've never noticed it before. I bring my own coffee, but go ahead.
There are like 8 communal coffee mugs, and we have a dishwasher here. There's only 7, 8 of us that are consistently in this office. So yeah, we do have communal coffee mugs. I'm sure this will get spun by both of you fucking clowns. As
I didn't know that it was communal, and I have never used one. So I guess I'm not part of the coffee.
We have like 10 of them.
Call it 8 for 6 guys then, because I've never used it.
Glad we got that sorted out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about one of the other top DMAs in the United States, Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks might be shutting down Kyrie Irving for the rest of the season in hopes of potentially securing a top 10 pick. Their first round pick goes to actually my New York Knicks if it lands outside the top 10 this year. The Mavs are 7-11 since trading Kyrie, and Luka Doncic came out yesterday talking about how much he misses his former teammate, who is Knicks superstar point guard Jalen Brunson. What are you guys thoughts?
Vernon Hills. We love Jalen Brunson around here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. I couldn't give a shit less about him. I'm going to take this as like a league-wide thing instead of just a kind of micro issue with the Mavericks right now. I got off of the NBA. It was mostly after Derrick Rose, just his knees stopped working. And I don't know when their next CBA is, or when this current
They just extended. They're good through the decade.
If we were sick at school, growing up, you had to have a doctor's note to like leave school or whatever. You should have a doctor's note to sit out NBA games now. You should, these guys are getting paid hundreds of millions. Like a backup in the NBA is getting paid a gazillion dollars. Well, play the fucking games, play 82 of them. I know the whole tanking thing. You want that top, you need that superstar to win a championship in the NBA. I get all that, but try to win every single fucking game. This isn't even like segregated to the NBA. It's a baseball issue too. I'm sure it's an issue in other sports with tanking. You play to win every fucking game. I don't care if they're trying to secure a top 10 pick, get in the lottery and all that. Play Luka. Kyrie, he's a crazy person. I fucking hate his guts, but fucking play him. If they're not hurt, they should be in the lineup every single day. This is such a turnoff to me as like a casual basketball fan. I hate it. I hate its guts.
I also feel like you might be better off tanking with Kyrie based upon their record.
Yeah.
So just leave
7-11 with them. I saw.
Yeah, let the ping pong balls fall where they may. Let this thing totally implode. It's almost like if if you really are playing for next year, maybe just need to give everybody a break and have like group therapy, because it sounds like this is just never going to work. You're the NBA guy, Steven. What do you make of that situation?
I mean, it's crazy. Kyrie Irving is a free agent after the season, and his trade value is pretty low based on that. This has obviously not worked. And I'm just wondering, he's so talented as an individual player, but he's such a head case and very clear team cancer. I mean, I know, Dave's not the biggest NBA guy, but he follows the Celtics closely. And he was saying from the jump, like, Kyrie is a cancer. This is going to like ruin the Mavs. And he was right. Like, the Mavs are in complete shambles. The Mavs were very clearly a playoff team before acquiring Kyrie Irving, and they've just gone in the shitter. And mind you, they did give up two somewhat key pieces in Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, who I know White Sox Dave is a big fan of, but they are just like completely in the tank. They no longer are a good defensive team, which is what they were before. And Kyrie is just imploding the team. So I'm wondering what his future is. Like, is he just going to be like a microwave guy, like sixth man for like a really good team now? Like, you can't in good faith sign this guy, the superstar that he is, and build a team around him. Like, that's proven to not work in his past now 3 stops.
I almost think it's worse if you give him that role, because he's a malcontent when he is one of the premier guys on the team. If you're telling me he's going to come off the bench and be a good soldier about that, no way. Like, I feel like his future might be the big 3. Like that, like there's just no
Austin in the big 3.
He would be unstoppable in the big 3. Yeah. Just be like, give me equity and I'll just try to make the big 3 a thing. But he's objectively, like, I who would touch him? And you called him a cancer. I feel like cancer normally takes a little while to metastasize. It's like you have to be there for at least 6 months to ruin an organization. He doing
pneumonia.
Like yeah, exactly. So you got to get him out of there. Like, that's a big misstep by Cuban and those guys, because if you have that superstar like Doncic, which I'm the most casual, probably more closer to Dave than I am to you with the NBA. I'll stop on a game with Luka. Not anymore, because it's just like he used to be a guy that like looked like he loved playing, talking shit. He's fun to watch. He looks miserable out there too. So there's just no reason to watch the Mavs. You have your one superstar. You got to just tear that thing down, hope for the top 10 pick, and kind of start over.
Yeah. It's dire straits in Dallas. Next topic, MLB pitch clock, which seems to be working. The average game time has dropped by 30 minutes, which, as a big critic of that MLB game time, that's a huge win. Last night's Marlins game was an hour 57. Batting averages have increased by 16 points. Stolen bases are doubled from where they were at this time last year. White Sox Dave, as your namesake, you are a big MLB guy. What do you think about this? Manny Machado thrown out yesterday after not being set in the batter's box in time. What are you thinking about the pitch clock?
Well, you said I'm the baseball guy of the convo. That is true out of the 3 of us, but
it's literally your name.
I asked Chief about this. Well, because you went to 2 Cubs games last weekend, and yep. I asked you about it, and he's like, it is, like, you could see it in his face. He's like, it is so much better as a more casual baseball fan. When I'm watching it on TV, the entertainment value of watching on TV when these guys aren't adjusting their belts and their jock straps and their hats and their gloves and everything for 10 minutes in between pitches, way more palatable. I was at the White Sox game on Monday, their home opener. You blink your eye and you're out of the stadium. It was night and day difference, because it's a social event when you go to a baseball game, especially when you root for a loser organization like I do. You're there for the, like, everything kind of not going on the field. You're sitting with your buddies drinking beer. I drank 2 beers in the game. It was the 7th inning already. We couldn't get any more. So it's like, obviously you take the good with the bad with this. I do think there are rules that you got to touch up. Players I don't think should be striking out. Like, give it 3 strikes, you're out, give 2 warnings and then the 3rd strike, you're out. Something like that. Like, but they're getting in the box. The games are moving along so much faster. Watching on TV is so much better. I'm not falling asleep on the couch at 11:30 in the top of the 6th inning anymore, And I do think, I was talking to Chaps about this on text message when the White Sox were playing the Astros, and like he's got younger kids, If it's a weekday, you can be out of the stadium for a 7:00 game by 9:30 now. home by 10:30. That's not, cutting into their schoolwork, or they're not getting to bed too late. Last year and years prior, they're not going to bed till probably like 1 a.m. a lot of times. That's a huge difference. So I do think it'll help attendance, and it's going to help in certain areas that just aren't on the field as well. But as a whole, it's definitely a win. It's definitely a win. I love it.
Chief, what do you got?
Yeah, I really like it too. I'm more casual, obviously, than a guy with White Sox in his name. So, but I've been watching game. I've seen 2 in person. I've watched I think every Cubs game in their entirety. And it's one of those things where it's like you think back 20 years ago, Nomar would never have been able to play in the major leagues because he was every at bat just stepping out, adjusting his gloves. It made it slow and miserable and boring. Now, I'm sitting on the couch, I'll be on my computer, and it's almost like I have a muscle memory already, being like, here comes a pitch, almost like you're timing up the commercial coming back to an NFL game, that you just kind of have your own internal clock. You can anticipate the action happening in baseball, and that baseball, when it turned into a thing where they're sitting around waiting for a 3-run home run, that sucked. So if you're telling me that balls in play are up, stolen bases are up, all that stuff, it's a small sample size. It's only been a week of this. But if we have more exciting plays, that's great. And I'm in on that. And it's almost like that's what baseball was pre-analytics and pre-steroids. So you just had a more entertaining product league wide. So I'll watch the Cubs Reds, and I'll flip on MLB Network. I watch, a few innings of the White Sox games, and it goes by like that. And if it's to me, it's more about the plays that are happening rather than the pace of the game, because it seems like it induces more action, and I'm on board with that.
I will say though. Sorry, go ahead. White Sox.
I don't want to see a shot clock like an NBA on the graphic when I'm watching on TV.
You don't, or you do?
No, I don't want to see that. Because baseball's not supposed to have a shot clock or a timer or anything. That's kind of one of the beautiful parts about the game to a purist like me. If they got rid of the shot clock on the graphic, I'll just forget about it. I won't even realize they have to pick up pace,
I think you're wrong about that, and I think you're underestimating how annoying people on Twitter would be timing it themselves and being like, that should have been an out, that should have been a strike, it should have been, and it would annoy the fuck out of you after a week if people were tagging you with their iPhone stopwatch on doing it at home. So
if fucking Luis Robert should have been out and he hits a walk-off home run because he wasn't in the box with 7 seconds left or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, that could be true.
I do think that this is a new rule. Obviously, I think they should be a little bit more lenient. The Manny Machado getting also statistically, that being called a strikeout is kind of weird to me.
I don't like that part. Like I said, 3 strikes and you're out. Warn him twice, then the third time it happens.
Right. I think you need some type of warning, and for him to be ejected like that, and I am a Manny Machado guy, you can't throw him out like that. He didn't do anything that was unnecessary. He was basically the first person I think this has really happened to, and then for him to argue with it is understandable, and then for him to be immediately thrown out was ridiculous. Plus he's a super, why would you do that to a superstar player? People are paying to come see this guy.
Yeah, I do think it's one of those things where it's if you're going to have the rule, you have to enforce the rule. And if we agreed to do the rule, and we all agree that the rule is good, as soon as you start letting people like Machado or whoever kind of skate by on it a little bit or fudge the boundaries of it, then everybody's going to do it, and then it'll just be a rule. Because Dave, didn't you tell me that they had this rule, but the umpires weren't enforcing it?
They had it a couple years ago. I think 2021. 2 minutes 30 seconds between innings or half innings. And I think it was a 30 pitch or 30-second shot clock between pitches. And after a week of spring training, it was already extinct.
So I like the rule, and then I think to preserve the rule, you have to be kind of hardcore about it. And every once in a while, as people are adjusting, somebody like Machado is going to get fucked, and it's going to be a controversy. But I think you just have to enforce the rule.
Got to adapt or die.
Rule. Yeah, it's a good rule.
Fair. All right, Messi might be joining the Saudi Pro League along with Cristiano Ronaldo. 35-year-old Messi was in contract with his Paris Saint-Germain, expires this summer. It's becoming more likely he's going to join the same Saudi league that Ronaldo plays in. Ronaldo is being paid $75 million per year, and they're apparently working on something that's $350 million a year for Messi. What are your takes on this? I mean, I'm not super. I don't follow soccer at all. So, Chief, you can provide some
I don't
better insight on this.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
is this pretty much like the Live Tour?
That's how I interpret it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So, and the big news during the World Cup was that Messi was going to join the new MLS team out of Miami, and he was going to have an ownership stake and all that. And it sounds like the Saudis are just being like, absolutely not. Like, we'll just outbid it. We'll give you $350 million. You don't have to worry about if the Miami franchise works or not. And it's like it's not a good league, and you can just have all the money in the world and go back and live in Argentina or wherever you want after the season. And they are doing that. And they bought Newcastle United, the MBS and the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So they're really doing, kind of sports washing kind of all over the place. And they're trying to make themselves like the hub of the Middle East. And part of that is sports and culture. And they're willing to pay through the nose to get the big name guys. So it's not going to make anybody watch those leagues. I haven't seen a Ronaldo highlight since he's been there, but like money talks. And if I were approaching retirement and I could squeeze out another $500 million over a couple of years, I think I would do it. So so it is what it is. It's kind of shitty for the game overall, but I can't blame those two guys.
You can't blame people for if like I would do that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
You seem like the type of guy that would not do that out of principle.
Dave, you would go blog in Saudi Arabia?
If the Saudis want to pay me $350 million a year to go blog in Saudi Arabia, I will fucking drop Barstool like a bad habit.
Saudi Arabia,
so
tripling your salary.
Everybody
right
in this company.
Saudi Arabia, tripling your salary right now, but you got to live there. You're going?
It's not triple. It's what was it? You said he was getting $50 million a year.
Oh, but like they're effectively tripling Messi's.
I thought it was like 7 times. It went $50 million to $350, right?
Or that package, yeah.
Let's go 4 times your salary, White Sox, Dave. You sign him?
Oh, give him 7 times. Give him 7 times. 7 times.
Why would I not?
Because you got to live in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, you got to live in Saudi
internet
Arabia.
Doesn't have political boundaries. I could blog from the couch.
Yeah, it does.
No, you got to live there.
The internet has no political bound. What are you talking about? Saudi Arabia is like the most censored country in the world. You would probably get beheaded over there writing what
we're talking on the internet. He's just the one paying whoever the crown prince is, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Mohammed bin Salman. Yeah.
I don't even think you could bring up all the smut pages that you look at over there for your blog. Right. So you'd have nothing to write about.
That is
back
true.
to your 7,000 word manifestos about the White Sox pitching.
Yeah, White Sox. Yeah.
I don't know. Get what you pay for. But I would. Topic. I mean, how can anybody hate him for that? Like, I don't. It's crazy.
Sticking on the soccer field, a Mexican soccer referee has been suspended 12 games for kneeing a player in the balls. So referee Fernando Hernandez was arguing with a player, Lucas Romero, and Romero was demanding a VAR review after a goal by the opposing team. They were standing face to face, and the ref kneed in the balls, knock him to the ground. Did you guys see this clip?
I did.
Yeah.
This is an all-time soccer flop.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is the most delayed reaction, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on, is the ref okay doing this? I actually kind of like it.
I hate the antics of how soccer is with their refs, where they get like right up in each other's faces, like nose to nose. They scream and yell and spit all over each other like by accident. I think the refs have it. They have the right to be like, back the fuck off, and I will knee you in the balls because you're like touching my nose with your nose. So that's the quickest way to get somebody off. It wasn't like he's trying to like prevent him from having children. It was a little love tap to the nuts. So I thought that was fine. And it like, that's one of my favorite clips. There's like something that goes viral like once a year with hockey, where the refs and the players, they just motherfuck each other back and forth. And they're just like, fuck you. And I'm like, that to me looks like a very healthy relationship. And I think as soccer, if you're going to get in a guy's face like that, you should be able to experience some of the consequences.
That's completely fine. But that goes against all, like, the flop was disgusting. It was total soccer. It was like, oh, get this shit off. But you never fucking kick someone in the balls.
He didn't kick him in the balls.
I know he didn't. It was like a love tap with his knee to the balls. I understand, but you don't do that. That's like you just don't do that. You can't do that as a guy. If he would have socked him in the face, I would have been like, oh yeah,
Dave, you've never given somebody a nut tap before. I do not believe that for a second.
In a moment of aggression, when I'll put my hand on a Bible, swear under oath. I have never, ever, ever gone for the balls.
But you've given
that's not what I'm talking about whatsoever. Every teenager ever has done that, yes. But that's just fucking around with your buddies. If you're face to face with someone, you don't kick them in the balls. I've never done that. If you have,
I haven't done that. I haven't done that in aggression, but like to me, it wasn't playful, obviously. But it wasn't like something out of a karate movie where the guy just
of course not. Of course not. It was a little love tap.
Yeah. So to me, that's
still, you don't go for the nuts. That's just against the rules. I don't care if you're in Saudi Arabia
as a guy who's nothing is off limits if it's heated and contentious and it's a fight about.
No, there's rules of engagement.
No, I agree with Dave on that. There are rules of engagement.
There's rules of engagement. The Geneva Accords were signed for a reason, Steven.
I kind of feel like it's UFC rules. Like UFC and boxing, they don't let you punch guys in the nuts.
Exactly. You don't kick them in the face when they're on the ground. Yeah. That's well put, actually.
Hey, Dave, good point.
Did you guys?
I bet Steven was a dirty fighter. I bet he like fish hooked and gouged eyes and twisted.
I don't mind a fish hook. I've wanted to fish hook somebody since I watched Gangs of New York. That looked like that's a great move. You just fish hook somebody and then they give up. I love it.
You use your fists and you hit each other in the face like men.
I've always wanted to do a fish hook.
Did you guys see the new trailer for this Barbie movie?
I just watched it.
I did.
One of the more confusing things, Chief, what did you think about it? I mean, it's got a superstar cast: Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Kate McKinnon, Dua Lipa, Michael Cera, Will Ferrell. What did you think about this trailer and what this movie's really supposed to be?
So Eddie brought it up on Dog Walk. I think that airs today too. We talked about it yesterday, and I just shit on it. Like, why the fuck can't we come up with storylines and movies? And I just went in blind. I didn't know anything about it. And I watched the trailer, and I gotta say, I'm a little bit intrigued. Really? Yeah. And it's like, I feel like they're talking about like, it's almost like a fluffed up Matrix where like we're leaving Barbie land, we're going into the real world and what that's going to mean. The other thing that got me intrigued, I don't know if you saw the social clip from Russell Crowe's interview on KFC radio, where he's just like, Gosling's the funniest person in the world.
I kind of famously don't respond to, the stimuli coming from outside the camera. Somebody could be on fire over there, but if I've got to deliver a certain line and I know the camera's rolling, I'm going to get my job done, But Gosling, man, he can just wind me up. He can get me not just laughing, he gets me giggling like I'm in freaking primary school. He is so absurd, his humor, right? And his timing is so beautiful.
Gosling as Ken, after listening to Russell Crowe talk about him, it's like, I'm not going to go to the theaters to see it, but I'm sure it'll be on HBO Max or something like that at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if I flip that on at some point.
Dave, what's it rated? Is it like a actual like children's movie, or is it supposed to have like some elements?
I think it's rated PG-13, right?
If it's PG-13, then that'll probably be more watchable. Like, I wouldn't watch it unless I was watching it with my 7-year-old niece.
No, it's PG-13.
Okay. So it might have a little...
Margot Robbie gets naked in it, Dave.
No, she doesn't. On PG-13, she doesn't.
All right. Well,
just try. You think this guy hasn't scoured all the PG-13 films out there and knows the rules of engagement? They didn't sign the Geneva Code for this.
Yeah. All right. I was just trying to see if I could get you excited.
I mean, you can see Margot Robbie fucking naked in any other movie.
Wall Street. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Right.
This is one of the more confusing trailers I've seen. Typically in a trailer, and I used to watch a lot of movie trailers, there's going to be like, they're going to put some of the most compelling stuff in that. So sometimes they even put some of the funniest jokes in the trailer just to hook you to get you into the theater. This trailer was so confusing. I don't understand the premise of the movie. There were no funny moments. Nothing
I'll tell
that made
you.
me say, oh, interesting. or
I'll
I want
tell
to see
you.
more. This trailer couldn't be done soon enough. I think this movie's gonna be
Unfortunately,
terrible.
Margot Robbie was cast in one of the absolute worst movies in the history of film. The one with Will Smith,
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, absolute biggest piece of shit movie I've ever. I turned it off after 30 minutes. I'm like, this is so bad.
She
done.
was very good in that, but the movie was terrible.
Movie was horrible. But the cast was just fucking loaded top to bottom. I'm assuming that's what they're going for here, hoping people come out for this kind of clickbaity, type of movie with this star-studded cast that they know is going to be horrible, but they don't give a flying fuck because it's going to make $1 billion because of the amount of star power in the movie. That's my theory on it. Like, I'm sure it's going to be horrific.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be horrific. It's going to be horrific, but
it's going to be horrific, right? I would love it to be like a Mean Girls or something where I fucking love it, but I highly doubt that's going to be the case.
But I think you're right, Steve, that nothing about the trailer said comedy to me. It was almost like it was like the messaging that I got was that it was more like we're like a take on like society where it's like everything's perfect and plastic and we're going to leave this world for the real world. And that was, they were in that like Barbie mobile or whatever, Gosling and what's her face. So so I don't know. It's a weird premise, but I feel like it's one of those things that you could just, there's probably just some fucking algorithm formula where it's like, if we take a nostalgia thing and hot people and put it together, we'll make $600 million, and they just call it a day.
Sure.
Right. It's probably all done in front of a green screen, some Hollywood studio, no production costs.
Oh, I bet the production costs were crazy high for this.
Yeah, I would guess that.
I don't know. I have no idea.
All right, after show tonight, the Battle of the Badge, FDNY versus NYPD drops tonight at 6. The Spittin' Chicklets documentary.
New York City, the epicenter of the greatest rivalry in amateur sports. The city's finest versus the city's bravest.
I think they're cocky. They think they're cool because they're firemen. They think everyone loves them. They think they can go around and do whatever they want, whenever they want. And I just don't like it.
And for that one day, that 60 minutes of hockey, I'm sure they want to kill me, and I want to kill one of them.
The benches are clear!
You get in that game, and you're putting shoulder pads on, and it's full contact, and there's 18,000 people screaming. It's more than a day. You can unload. And you can hit a guy, and you can kill someone.
This is the Battle of the Badge, NYPD versus FDNY.
Chief, you're obviously a big hockey guy, not part of the New York scene necessarily, but is this kind of on your radar, and how big is this?
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that is so big that you don't have to, if you follow hockey, you know about this game. They sell out Madison Square Garden. Like it's,
I did not know that.
Oh yeah. It's a huge deal. And I'm glad the Chicklets guys are giving it love and getting involved in it, because it's for a great cause, and these guys care. Like, there's usually a couple fights. There's like legit, like they have way more hockey players and firefighters that are in the police department than are on the team. So it's like very competitive to make the teams. And the guys care. So it's definitely worth watching. And it's, I mean, this could just be like my Barstool bias coming through. I think those guys, Biz and Witt and the Chicklets guys, are just so fucking funny that everything they do. We did a snake draft with Biz out in Arizona, came out on Monday. He's just like the funniest person on the planet. He's just one of those people that whatever he says, the words that he chooses, the way it comes out of his mouth, it just makes me laugh. And so there's going to be entertainment value with this event. And it's, if you're not aware of what do they call the Battle of the Badge, the fire department versus the police department, you should watch, because it's something that people should know about, because it's a truly awesome event.
Nice. Dave, I don't know if you have a take on that, but that was the hockey
No,
guys.
I'll definitely be watching. Like Ryan said, for the comedy element, it's going to be hilarious just because of who's producing it, But I wish they had something like this in Chicago. That'd be really cool.
They do. It's just and they're
much smaller scale, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it's a smaller scale, but they're trying to build it up, and it's this year they just did it maybe a month ago, end of February.
I didn't even know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they played it on the ice before Blackhawks game. It was before the Toronto Blackhawks game. It was like one of Kane's last games, so I think it was like February 20
whatever, yeah,
or whatever. And good turnout, and they turn it into like the first responders appreciation at the United Center. They're trying to make it what it is in New York, but New York's just been doing it forever. So it's a bigger city with bigger departments and a bigger hockey culture. So Chicago has a ways to go, but they're working on it.
I wish they did this for like all four major sports, actually. Like rotate between Sox Park and Wrigley for baseball every other year. Do basketball and hockey at the UC. That'd be kind of sweet.
Yeah. Yep.
Be a nice way to bring city
pride. I got a question for
how many firefighters and cops are in New York? I think I saw because we just went through the mayoral election. There's 10,000 cops. So to make that team, you got to be like fucking good, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's good.
That's in Chicago. That's a quarter of the size of New York City, Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good hockey. It's for sure good hockey. Che, did you read Fights' blog? Because you're like the perfect guy to talk about this because you've transitioned. You've come from the business side. Now you're full-time content. What did you make of that blog and then the culture here as a whole?
So
speak up. Let it fly. Let it rip.
I feel terrible because the person that wrote that I used to manage. So I'm not going to throw her under the bus. But yeah, I mean, reading it, I just had Dave's voice in my mind and just being like, what have we come to? So I think Fight summed it up perfectly. I read it on the training this morning. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, we're just really corporate now. I don't think it's like a reflection on the person necessarily, but like, we've come so far from, I wasn't even in Milton, but even in, HQ2 in New York where Big Cat's pissing in the sink and everyone's, on one floor. There's 2 studios and I'm taking fucking conference calls in the bathroom because there's no room. And, now that we have these, corporate emails for a corporate happy hour from 5 to 8 p.m. in the office with 50 million golf puns is I mean, it's how far we done come.
It was like 2 puns per sentence.
It was a lot. It was a lot. By the end you start to appreciate it, be like, all right, I guess that's what they're really going for.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is not the Barstool of yesteryear, but
totally not. And I do feel like we're a little bit isolated from it here because we have.
Did you guys see it?
We did not. I was not on the email. I don't believe because we're
I
here,
don't have the slightest clue what you guys are talking about.
You just don't even have email.
Yeah. You should read the blog because you'll love it. And Dave and I, we're both. I'm 36. Dave's 34, something like that. But we both were working in corporate environments for a decade before we started full time with Barstool, and it's like it used to just drive me crazy where I would get these things like, gosh, you want to puke. And then it's like, I would, Dave, I've told this story before, but I used to work for a company that had, like Polish people, like from Poland as our management. And they would spend 2 weeks per month in the United States. And I hated this guy. So I would just make up things I would email him and sign off Best Eagle. And I just did it never said anything, just said Best Eagle, Best Eagle, Best Eagle, and ended every email. And eventually he was like, what is this Best Eagle? I'm like, it's an American thing. It just means like honor, strength, and something like that. And he's like, okay. So then we had our biggest customer come through, I don't know, 6 months later. And we were a fuck up company. So he was like shredding us. And I'm like, all right, like meeting's over. I'll walk you to the parking lot. He's like, this fucking guy, yelling at this guy about this guy. He's like, and by the way, what the fuck is Best Eagle? So this guy that I had been like just slow playing for like my own entertainment because I hated like the corporate culture and they're Polish, so I was just like fucking with him for my own joke. He then took that and was like signing his emails to our customers as Best Eagle, and it was like my favorite long con unintentional joke ever. But it's like I thought that I had escaped that. And now it feels like we're right back. And now everybody's coming here to Chicago. And I feel like we're just going to be immersed in corporate culture all over again.
Or is there going to be a dress code? Like, am I going to have to wear slacks and a button down and tuck my shirt in and all that? Shine my shoes?
Dave, here's another thing, Dave. I got a bone to pick with you now that we're here. Dave borrowed, we did a wheelie challenge where Dave was doing a combine using suitcases because he brought 2 wheelie bags to the airport. It looked ridiculous, so we made him do like a broad jump. And Dave borrowed my gym shoes and like a pair of basketball shorts, and I just took everything and threw it in the wash. There was a can of Grizzly Wintergreen went through my
oh no,
God damn it, I was looking for that.
yeah Well, it's in my washing machine now, so thanks for that.
It doesn't open. I've done that a million times. If I do a load of laundry, a can of dip goes through the load of laundry because it's just in a pair of jeans that I forgot about. It doesn't open up and get all over.
Where are you going that you're taking 2 suitcases?
We were on that Arizona trip. He had
for how long?
4 days.
I had baseball.
4 days? You need 2 suitcases?
Yeah, because I had shit that I brought in case content opportunities arose.
He brought like a normal bag of clothes and everything you would need for a 4-day trip, and then his other bag was just filled to the brim with baseball equipment, just in case.
Yeah, fine. I'll stop coming prepared, and then you guys will bitch about that. That's how it'll go.
We do like to complain.
Full suitcase of that stuff.
Yeah,
love it. All right, well, that was the rundown. Thursday, April 5th. Shout out to Barstool Chicago. Wednesday. Sorry. Oh wait, one more thing. Did you guys talk about this yesterday? Parking challenge. Pat Bev versus Eddie. When's that happening?
As soon as Pat Bev agrees to it. That little guy, he's got the big car. Thinks he needs all this leg room. I think he's got the big SUV Rolls Royce. It's just not necessary given how it's not like he's Shaq. Like he can fit in a normal size sedan, and that I don't know why he's driving that car.
Yeah, he could fit in a
little
Prius.
compact. Yeah. He could have he could trade
the Fiat.
Yeah,
a Mini Cooper.
I don't even know what more you guys want me to say on this parking fiasco.
You versus Pat Bev.
I'm pulling up. I see Eddie. I see him in his white Tesla. He tried it. He was too close. Pulled out. Tried it again. A little bit too close. Pulled out. Then he just took off.
Don't get me wrong. I did botch the park job, but there was so much going on back there. This guy's got a Rolls Royce.
What would a park off look like?
I think he'd just do a straight up parallel park, right?
We got to get like some kind of driver's ed teacher in the city to like sit shotgun and grade you guys.
We got to get Pat to agree first.
Yeah, but if he doesn't agree, it's an L.
And we have to drive the same vehicle. So if we got to use the Rolls Royce, I won't complain.
Okay,
just saying.
Right.
He kicked me out of my parking spot the other day, and I'm like, "Hey man, like I kind of got to leave. You're gonna be here for like 3 more hours, and I'm done for the day." Like, and he just tosses me the keys. I'm like, I am not going near that thing. All I got to do is move it 10 feet. I will some way, somehow total that Rolls Royce. I don't want anything to do with that. You move it.
I'm not a car guy, but I got to say that Rolls just looks sweet. It looks like
that thing's probably fucking. I'm not a car guy either. I would put a $300,000 price tag on it.
Yeah,
I could be off by like $200,000 or some more than that.
I would think Rolls Royce.
I have no idea.
Royce SUV.
Oh, Rolls Royce SUV.
I didn't even know they made SUVs. Yeah.
These are like exclusively for NBA players and the wealthiest of wealthy that can afford.
355,000 is the lowest.
So I wasn't too far off.
You ain't getting the lowest, I tell you that much.
Yeah. So what? We're talking like $500,000.
Probably, yeah. So definitely more than my house.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. That was the rundown. Wednesday, April 5th. Stay tuned tonight for Barstool Sportsbook. We got a brain freeze coming out as well.
Thank you guys
for watching.